with the robotics, with the AI now, I don't think there's a job that's safe.
Once you provide your customers with a good product or service,
Yes.
they are very easily sold on
Yes.
other products or services that you provide because they're expecting it to be good as well.
What you should focus on learning when you are doing your first business as a teenager is...
All right, we are live. What?
Every time I bang the table, I'm on here and turns off.
Oh, nice. Technology issues. All right, welcome back to Start It or Scrap It. I'm Mike Turkanian.
And I'm Gummi.
That's Gummi over there. And what we do is we answer questions for people that are looking to start a business, or maybe you have a business and you have some questions about expanding, or some legal issues or marketing, whatever it is. And we're here to just kind of give you general business advice.
You can't give legal advice.
Well, if they're in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or Georgia, I can. But in general, we can give some friendly advice on how to maintain and run your business.
Absolutely.
So, for those of you over in TikTok, thank you for joining us. Put your questions in the comment section, and we'll try to get you some good information. So, how have you been, buddy?
Good.
What have you been up to?
Not much. Recovering from tennis elbow.
Tennis elbow.
Yeah.
You don't play tennis.
No, you get it golfing too.
I know. So exactly what is that? What is tennis elbow?
So tennis elbow is your tendons in your elbow that from gripping and using apparently get irritated.
Mm-hmm.
So you actually have to do like physical therapy to get it
to
recover.
Did you do it on your own, or did you have to go to a PT?
No, so this is where networking helps. That I showed up at a meeting. There's a PT there, and I'm like, "Hey, I have tennis elbow. What exercise do I do?" She showed me like 2 or 3.
Oh, that's cool.
And then she emailed me a bunch more, and she's like, "Here, this is all you need to do."
Very cool.
So I've been doing those.
How long has it been?
It started like 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
And I'm still not
100%.
No.
Can you golf though?
It's the reason it's not fully healed.
Yeah, because you keep golfing.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like stay off it, but you won't stay off
Yes,
it. Gotcha.
correct.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Especially when the weather is this nice.
It is.
Like,
I know. It's been hot, but
it's been
still
really
nice.
hot. Like
super hot.
Like almost. So you need something refreshing to drink. Like
what is that?
These,
what is that
this
drink?
Is an Arnold Palmer from Arizona Iced Tea. In case you haven't tried one yet.
I've never had one myself.
They are delicious when it's nice and hot outside.
Are they
Yes.
your favorite thing in the world?
They are my favorite
pastime beverage. So Arizona Iced Tea, if you're listening, Gummi would love to talk with you about acquiring some more of your delicious teas. So I had a situation that came up this week.
Me too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Really?
I'll let
You want to
go
go first? You let me go first. You'll allow me to go first. I really
Yours is
appreciate
probably
that.
far more interesting.
So I had this guy. This guy's a kid. He's like early 20s, and he is he came up with I'm not going to go into too much detail, but he came up with a really cool software program.
Okay.
And a company wants to buy it from him, and they want to use it. It's like he put a lot of time and effort into this thing, and they're offering him like pennies on the dollar for this thing. Yeah. But they're offering him, it's still a lot of money, but realistically it's pennies on the dollar. But he's so excited. He's a young guy. And I just feel I had a talk with him about it. And I was like, look, there's things you got to consider. You got to consider the money, the amount of time and effort you put into it, money you put into it, et cetera. Yep. But at the same time, it's, he doesn't want to do it anymore. He wants to move on to something else, and he just wants to be done with it. If he can get this money and it helps him do something else, sure, why not? So it got me thinking that, when I deal with a lot of mergers and acquisitions with people buying and selling businesses, there's more to it than just what's the business worth. Right. There's what do you want out of it? Right. Oh, I want out. I want either retire, or I want to move on to something else, or I just don't want to do this. Right. Or there's, I purposely built it to sell it. So I want to get the absolute as many dollars out of this as I possibly can. And there's, 1,000 other ways to think,
Hmm.
to look at it as well. So when people are looking to buy or sell a business, it just got me thinking there's so much more to it than just the price tag,
Yep.
especially when you're the seller. Some people just, they're just tired.
Oh yeah.
They're just,
So
and that has a huge impact on the
right.
price that they're
Same
willing to
same
accept.
thing if someone is looking to retire. Like I think it's only like 20% of small businesses actually end up being sold. The other
Yeah.
80% just close
Just
down
close.
when they're done.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and that can be retirement, that can be they no longer want to do it.
Yep.
Um, and if you're looking to buy a business, those are the businesses to buy
Yeah.
where the owner hadn't really contemplated selling,
Right.
right? Because now they're getting something when they were expecting to get
Nothing.
nothing,
Yeah.
right? So it's a win-win. You get it for pennies on the dollar. You are essentially often just buying like a client list,
A
right?
lot of times. Yeah.
So for example, the bookkeeping business that we own,
Mhm.
that was one of the things we looked at is can we go and find bookkeepers that are retiring and just buy their customer lists? It was a very easy way to get to market.
Yeah.
So we started looking at it, and there's a lot of like CPA firms that also do bookkeeping. So we started looking at could we buy out these CPAs as well? Because we have the ability, we have CPAs that work with us.
Sure.
So we could do the tax returns and all this stuff. But yeah, we were surprised to find out how many businesses just email their clients and go, "Hey, this is the last season I'll
Yeah.
be doing
And
books for you."
as,
Right?
as
Like
it's funny how many
it's
clients come
hard
to
to find
me.
them.
It's funny how many clients come to me and say, yeah, I as an attorney, I used to work with this attorney. He was great, but he retired.
Mhm.
Okay, so what did he do with his client list? Right, I'm
Yeah.
thinking to myself, and you know what? You're absolutely right. At
Yep.
least 80% of the time, they don't do anything with it.
Nope.
They just let their clients know they're no longer in business. You know what the kind of value that has?
Right. Like
That is you get so much money out of that. Even if it's not millions of dollars.
Yeah.
What if it's 10,000? That's 10,000
Thousand.
more than you had,
Correct.
right? So what? You're going to build the business over 20 years and just shut the
Yeah.
doors and not try to get anything out of
So
it?
we were willing to make offers of up to 6 times monthly revenue
Yep.
just for the client list. Right? So whatever their average was for a month, we'd pay them 6 times that, and that's what we were willing to pay them for just the client list. But we would also get their phone number, their domain,
Yep.
social media. Basically, we would
You get their IP, right?
correct, right? And it's a win-win.
Yeah.
Like for us, we make the money back in 6 to 8 months most of the time, because very few clients actually leave.
Where are they going to go?
Correct, right? Like they don't want to go through the hassle of finding
Right.
someone, so they're like, "Oh, okay, we'll just go with your guy," right?
And the sale of that list to you
Mhm.
from the client or the customer's perspective comes with the implication that the old owner is saying this is the guy you want to
Correct.
work with.
Yes,
It really does come with that implication.
that's what it does, right? Which is why they're always worth something.
Right.
And I remember I was talking to a guy that owned a moving company, and he just had enough. So he had taken a job down in Texas. I think it was Texas, and he was going to move down to Texas and just get out of the moving business.
Yep.
And his family was going to buy the moving business, right? So he goes, yeah, he's like, we just put some value on the trucks and stuff. So I ran some SEO reports on his website and stuff
Mhm.
like that. And I'm like, you realize that your website traffic is worth like $4,000 a month. He goes, what? And I'm like, if this was paid traffic,
Yeah.
it would be about $4,000 a month worth of traffic that your
Right.
website is getting. And he's like, well, we've always been busy. He's like, I had a hard time finding people to work. And he's like, I'm just tired of it, right? Like, he's like, I made my money. I just
Yeah.
want to get out and go work for someone else. But they ended up actually paying him another, I think it was like 200,000
Yeah. See?
for the domain, phone number,
Phone number, yeah. Email
all of that.
addresses, yeah.
Correct.
Yep.
Right. So there's value in all of that stuff. Like there's businesses out there. I remember talking to a guy that was in my industry, but he had a very unique business model, right? He would set up Joe's Landscaping, for example. And all he did was harvest the leads,
Mhm.
talk to the customers, and then funnel them off to someone else,
Oh, yeah.
right? So he basically would just
He's a
build
lead
website,
generator.
optimize them.
He's a lead generator.
No, no,
Yeah.
no.
No?
Once he got them to a certain point, he would call the client and go, "Hey, do you want to rent this website fully optimized?"
Oh.
So instead of just paying for the lead,
Right.
you know, Don's landscaping would rent Joe's landscaping website
To get the,
for the
yeah.
lead gen.
Yeah.
It was kind of a unique business, but like he was making
If
decent
you know
money
how to
doing
do
that.
it,
Yeah,
why not? Right.
yeah.
So yeah, so it just got me thinking about the mergers and acquisitions
Hmm.
on how does someone, so for those of you who don't know, we go on Reddit a lot of times while we're waiting for questions, we'll go on Reddit and we'll see what questions people have about starting and running a business, right? And it got me thinking how what these people that are trying to start up a business from scratch,
Hmm.
how hard would it be to go out? I mean, I'm sure it's hard to identify, but how hard could it really be to go out and try to find someone who's retiring soon in an industry you're looking to get into?
Hmm.
I mean, I can, for professionals like CPAs, attorneys, doctors, it's got to be pretty easy because you should be, if you find a doctor's office where it's a one person doctor and the guy is 75, he's probably retiring soon, you
Right.
know?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's probably pretty easy to identify certain
Correct.
people.
I mean, it takes time and effort
Right.
because, like, you may not know how old someone is until you actually go visit it,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
But this goes
um,
back to the thing you and I always talk about. Just have conversations with people.
oh yeah.
You never know. Someone might be 45 years old. They have a decent sized
Hmm.
business and they're just done, but they haven't told anybody that.
Yep.
So when you walk in and say, "Hey, look, I'm interested in getting into this business. Can you tell me all about it?" You might find out that they're like, "Hey, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. Why don't we work a deal?"
Yeah. And it could be worth every penny for both of you.
Absolutely.
Right.
So, I mean, I guess the point is that while it's always a good idea to think about starting your own business and running a business,
Hmm.
sometimes it's better to try to take on something that already
Right.
exists.
If you get, let's say you're an attorney, right, and you want to start your own practice,
Yep.
if you can find someone that's retiring, even if only 50% of those clients stay with you,
Yeah.
you're going to be way ahead of the
Oh
game,
yeah.
right? And you can then slowly rebrand it because the customers, once they get to know you, right, it's that transition period that's key.
Right.
Having the old owner introduce you to like the top value clients and all that stuff, and then it's on you to keep those relationships. But yeah, absolutely, it could be worth buying someone out.
Yeah.
Um, and there are so many ways to work this, right? Like you could say, hey, I'll do a revenue share with you for the next 12 months,
Right.
right? Like no money out of your pocket. Whatever of your clients I keep, I'm going to float you 10 or 20% of all the work I get from them for the next year. And that's going to be your payment, right?
Right.
Once again, for the person selling, that is far more, worth far more on, um, than nothing, right? Than
Yeah.
just
No,
leaving.
I know exactly what you're saying, but and then look at it from the other side as well. If you're the seller, right?
Oh, someone say they can't hear anything. Um,
Technical issues. Point
so
point is that sometimes you look at it from the other side as well. If
yep,
you're the seller or the owner of a business and you want to sell it, don't cut yourself short. Don't shortchange yourself, I should
correct.
say, right? There's a lot of value to a lot of things that you've done. So people just look at the product, but sometimes the product's just one piece of it.
Oh
There's
yeah,
a lot of IP there. There's client lists. There's
yep.
all kinds of things that have value.
Oh yeah, just a phone number alone
Right.
can be worth a ton,
Yeah.
right? Like I have a phone number from an old print shop
Yep.
that stopped operations, and I
Yeah.
happened to see the phone number, so I bought
You
it
bought it.
for
Yeah.
like $8, right? We still get phone calls to that number
Yeah.
occasionally. Like that number has paid for itself.
I'm sure it has.
But anyway, so I'll give you another one that I had
Yeah.
this week, which is fascinating. So I get a phone call from a company that has had the same location and been in business on a high traffic street for
Yep.
70 years.
Okay.
And he's like, not enough people know about us. And I'm like, well, I knew who you were. He's like, have you ever stopped in? And I'm like, well, no, like you don't really do what something that I'm interested in. So I've never even thought about it. And he's like, every week someone comes in and says, hey, I've never noticed you guys. Have you been here long?
Mm.
Right? And they've been in the same
For,
location
for that
70
long.
years. And it was such a good reminder for him. And he's like, I get reminded every week that there's a ton of people. We just assume everybody know we're here,
Yeah.
but there's people that have lived in the area, driven by us 3 times a week and still haven't noticed us, right? So the reason he called me was he was sitting down and Googling what they do
Mm.
around where he is. And he's like, how are these guys that are like, you know, a guy with a truck and 2 lawnmowers on the back outranking us as a 70-year-old business?
Right.
And I'm like, because they're doing the SEO work
You're doing the
better,
right thing.
right?
Yeah.
Like you could be bigger, you could have been around longer, but if you aren't taking care of that,
If people don't know who you are, it
no,
doesn't matter.
no, then the guy with the
Yeah.
2 lawnmowers,
Yeah.
and a truck is going to outrank you and get that
Yep.
business. And he's like, well, how do we get it? And I'm like, you have to stop approaching your website like you are a Walmart or a products-based business, and you have to start approaching it as if you're a local service business.
Yeah.
So you have to optimize for local, not optimize in general,
Right.
right? And this is where the type of SEO is so important because they had hired a company to do SEO and they were doing broad keyword SEO,
Yep.
which wasn't really benefiting them. They should have been doing local SEO instead of broad keyword. So it was just interesting. But the thing for me that was that, been around for 70 years, we still have people that have lived in the area for 20 years that are like, hey, or how long have you guys been here?
Yeah. I mean,
Right? Like,
it just shows that it actually shows the power
mhm.
of the, honestly, of people, what people search for these days on the internet.
Well,
And you're right. It is localized search. I'm not searching for a landscaper. I'm not searching for a plumber. I'm searching for a plumber in my area
correct.
who's available and is going to call me back now.
Yeah. And the other thing is like, just because you've been around for a while, um, don't assume that people ever see your sign,
Yeah.
right? Because most people drive in a trance,
Yeah.
right? Like you're not paying attention to what's around you. Like you're in that almost like hypnotic mode,
Yep.
right? So like we were on a high traffic street, 309, right? 48,000 cars a day, I think, went by. And people didn't notice us until I parked my Jaguar out in front of the building, close to the street. It was the first time we started getting walk-in traffic. We've been there for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I was still having people that I knew drove by there every day ask me, well, where are you guys? And I'm like, have you never seen our gigantic signs? And the moment I told them where we were, they would be like, oh, that's where you are? Like, I've never noticed you.
That's funny.
Like, what the hell?
Hey, it is what it is, man. So
Hmm.
anyway, just for those of you who couldn't hear us earlier or just joining, we were discussing what it's like to be a buyer or a seller of your business.
Hmm.
If you're the seller, there's a lot of things that you can consider valuable in your business, not just your product or service, but again, your intellectual property, your name, your phone number, your
Hmm.
website. All those things have value,
Hmm.
especially if you've been around for a while. And if you're a buyer, a lot of times, you don't have to spend millions of dollars on buying a business. A lot
Yeah.
of times there's people that just they're looking to get out for one reason or another.
Yep.
Again, they might just be done with the business. They might be retiring. They
Yep.
might have a life-changing event
I
and they're just looking to get out, and you can do some type of revenue share or something like that
I
just
had
to
a
take over.
I had a guy that at 54 got diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah.
And after a year of going through treatments, could physically no longer work.
Yeah. I can see
But
that.
he had 15 years worth of client list and hundreds of repeat
Which
customers.
is worth how much money, man? That's worth
Correct.
a
So
lot.
when he talked to me, he was like, hey, I'm thinking about getting out of the business. He's like, I'm going to move up closer to family in Maine and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, why don't we sell your client list? And he goes, I can do that. I'm like, dude, all your stuff has some kind of value.
All of
Like,
it.
it
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you're going to be, we're looking at millions. And I'm
Yeah.
like, but, having an extra 100K, would that make a difference?
Yeah.
And he's like, that would be huge. I think he ended up selling it to someone. He got like 75,000
Yeah.
plus all of his equipment.
Yeah.
Right. So it was a bigger deal. But just for the website, the name, the client list, all of that stuff, they paid him 75 grand.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Like it's pretty good.
All right. So while we wait for some questions to come in, again, people on TikTok, people
I
that are
just,
watching on TikTok,
I,
feel free to send some questions. Yeah.
there's something that
What?
I feel like that there's this thing that everybody wants to be like the next tech founder where they,
Well,
no,
of
but
course they do
like,
because they see
correct,
lots of
like
dollar
where they're like,
signs.
oh, I'm the next Sam Altman and I'll be
Mm,
making billions of dollars. And I'm like, the reality is the vast majority of businesses never get to that.
right.
Like the vast majority don't. That doesn't mean you can't have a business that makes you two, three, four, 500,000 a year.
Yeah.
Like most of us could live pretty comfortably on 500K a year, right? Like I just feel like a lot of times we need to rewind the expectations because people are so out there with what they think their business is going to be,
Yeah.
right? Like what is it? Like 10% of businesses hit $1 million in revenue. I think it's 10%. It might even be less,
Yeah. Maybe.
right? 5% hit 10 million.
Yeah.
And then like the top 1% hit
Right.
100 million.
Right.
Like realistically, you're probably going to be in the 90%,
Yeah.
right?
And there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Correct. Like it's perfectly fine. The thing is, you could also have multiple businesses. You could have two businesses that each do 800,000,
Yeah.
right? You could have a plumbing business and I don't know, a landscaping business, and each of them does 800K. Well, you're taking home pretty good money from that, right? Like this comes from me watching some TikToks and stuff, right? Where everybody's like, "Oh, I make $12,000 a month making TikToks." Okay, great. I make $12,000 a month in a business
Yeah.
and I have to be there probably less than you
Right.
have to spend on creating
Right.
TikToks, right? Like
Yeah.
the difference is you put out one bad video, right?
You're done.
You
Yeah.
could be done as
Yeah.
a creator or whatever. We put out one bad job, we're not going to be out of business. I'll make 11,000 instead of 12,000 next month.
Right.
Okay, big whoop-de-doo. I can replace that. I I don't know. I'm just
No, I get it. I know what you're
with
saying.
all these people being out there going, oh, like you're going to be a YouTube streamer. Bro. If you look at just the amount of TV shows that are made that never make it past the pilot or
Right.
never make it past one season,
Yeah.
right? That's the landscape you're competing in, right? Like,
Or they make it 3 seasons
mhm,
and they build up a really 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 big cliffhanger and
yeah,
then leave you because they canceled the show on you,
show.
Wheel of Time.
Wheel of Time.
Oh my
That's why
god,
I
I'm
stopped watching it.
so angry.
I
I am
started,
so
I
okay.
started.
I'm sorry. I'm going off on this one. Okay, I'm
Okay,
so
you're going
upset.
off.
I love the books.
Okay,
I haven't read them all. There's 14 books. I think I'm through like 8 or 9 of them.
okay.
And I've read quite a few of the books. I've read several of the books multiple times. And when I heard the series was coming out, I was like,
Hmm.
no, I'm not watching it because I don't know if they're going to continue with it. I know they're going to change storylines, and I don't care about that. I'm
Okay.
like, oh, it must be by the book. No, it doesn't work like that. I'm fine with that. And then after season 2, and they announced season 3, I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. And I watched the first episode and I was like, I'm not so sure. But then I got into it
Hmm.
and then season 3 came out. And I was like, all right, I'll watch them. And by the end of season 3, I was like, all right, this is a pretty good show. I
Right.
like this a lot. And then a month later, they canceled it.
Hmm.
I was so angry. I was so mad.
It happens, right?
Oh, it happens a lot.
But
I
what,
wasn't Firefly mad, but I was mad.
yeah. But what people need to realize is uh, when you see these videos of people that go and say, "Hey, I'm making 8 grand a month, or
Yeah,
10K a month, or 15K a month," those are the videos you're being fed, right?
right.
You're not seeing the other 35,000 creators that aren't making anything in the same topic, right?
Oh, sure.
That
Yeah.
that where their videos are getting six
For
views or
everyone
like
that's making 10 grand a month, you're
yeah,
right. There's probably 15, 20,000
10,000
people
making
that are
nothing.
making $100.
Not even, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I just got to keep. No, the people that succeed have something, right? And they might have something you don't.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Like, I can't sing. I I will never be a singer, right? Like,
I'm totally bringing karaoke to your house next
yeah,
time.
that's fine, right? Eh, But there's other things that I can do, right? So I think a lot of times people are looking for the wrong thing. They're
Yeah.
like, well, this person could do it, so why can't I?
Right.
Well, you don't have the marketing experience. You may not be as charming. You may not be as funny. Um, you know, the things you can work on is, well, your video quality isn't good enough. That you can fix, right?
Yeah.
But those other things, you would have to be able to look at these types of accounts and go, okay, what do they have in common? Like why is this person making 12K, right? And then you go and look at their account and you're like, oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Like they're cute, charming, and their kids are adorable,
Yeah.
right? Like
Right.
I would watch this stuff. And then you see the person that's trying and you're like, you can't make this style
You
video.
gotta
Like you
remember, yeah.
have to.
When it comes to video stuff, I don't think people understand. It still has to be entertaining.
Yes.
It has to be. If it's not, they're not going to watch it.
Entertaining, educational,
Even if it's educational, it
has to
still
add
has to be entertaining.
has to add value,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's like the guy that ended up calling me from our last life,
Right.
right? And he goes, I got more value from oh, there he is. New
Is
snaps.
he on?
Yeah. He's like, I think I got more value from talking to you. I think I
And-
got more value from talking to you for 20 minutes than the guy
Yeah.
I paid
Right.
to talk to,
Yeah.
right? And I'm like, well, that's the whole point of all this stuff, right?
That's funny.
So,
Hey,
um,
New Snaps, is that his name?
yeah, new
Yeah.
snaps.
I'm glad that worked out for you, man. Seriously, it's
Oh yeah,
awesome.
and his product is phenomenal, by
Yeah.
the way.
Gummy's the man. He will absolutely take care of you.
So,
All right, so let's get into Reddit. Let's see what's going on in the world whilst we wait for questions in the TikTok domain.
if you want to see more content like this, please just subscribe to the channel. Subscriber count helps a lot.
We are in the subreddit Entrepreneur today. This is from Experience X Now, who says, "What has been your biggest hurdle as a founder or aspiring founder, and why?" Hi, all. I am new to the subreddit Entrepreneur, but now not so new to entrepreneurship, although I have nothing innovative under my belt yet. I want to learn more about some of your biggest, most significant struggles or hurdles as a founder or aspiring founder like me. For me, my biggest hurdle or struggle currently is finding a community of builders and entrepreneurs I can engage with, build organic, genuine relationships with, and potentially found together. What has been yours? I'm curious to know. So I will say, as many of you that watch the show know, I have multiple backgrounds. So I have my technology background, and then I have my legal background, right? So before I became an attorney, I was a software engineer and built up software businesses. And now I'm an attorney and I do both. I have a software company and I have my legal practice, and I have some real estate things too, but primarily those two things. So from the legal side, it was very, very, very easy. I started my practice right out of law school. I didn't join a firm or anything like that. I thought I knew how to run a business, right? I didn't know how to run a business. I did not know how to run this business.
Right.
Okay. I had no understanding of what it meant to run a law firm. And it's incredibly different than any other business that's out there. And that was my biggest problem. That was my biggest struggle, was really trying to say, oh, sure, I've run, business X before. I've run a software company before. How much different could this be? And once, because, you put everything into it, I have no more income from anywhere else, blah, blah, blah. And I put all of my ducks into that basket, so to speak. And it took a while. It really did, for me to learn the nuances and the differences between running I would just use the word a regular business, and running a law firm. And I had no one to help me with that. It's just, reading and experimental, et cetera, et cetera. The software side of things, and this is especially early on in the days of the internet is when I started it. I would say the biggest struggle was learning how to market myself and market my business. I had no clue. I'll be honest, even to this day, you and I sit together more than this every week, and I learn a ton of things from you. I still don't know how to sell. I can't sell anything, right? So that for me has always been my struggle. But I'm curious what yours were.
So starting out,
None. I'm perfect.
no, the thing was though, like I went through, like I had a business that went out of business,
Yeah.
right? So like I struggled with my very first business,
Right.
To the point where I ran it into the ground, right? Like that's an expensive school, by
Sure.
the way. But no, once that happened, what I ended up doing was I went through the steps, right? So I went out and I learned inventory management. I learned logistics. I learned HR. I already knew how to do sales because like, and then I went and found a mentor that was an entrepreneur
Yep.
to kind of fill in like, okay, what am I missing? Like if I ever want to go out on my own, what am I missing?
Right.
And he like kind of guided me through it. But when I started this company, the first thing I did was go out and find like networking events that were dedicated, where the same people show up every week. And I joined a lot of local startup groups where people were starting up their businesses and we would get together once a month and just kind of sit around and talk, right? Like have actual
Yeah.
conversations. Um, I joined one group that was like a hot seat group, right? So every month someone would come in and say, "Hey, here are the problems that I'm having." And then the rest of the group would help them brainstorm solutions.
Okay.
That was probably one of the best groups I was in for a while,
Yeah.
right? I was in that group for like a year and a half,
Yeah. Those
right?
groups help, man. They
They
really do.
so it wasn't just that I learned and was able to help others, but it was the fact that you got to see that almost everybody has similar struggles with their business,
Yeah. You did. Right. Yes. That is exactly
right?
right. I mean, I can't, you're right. No matter, and again, doesn't matter the business line you're in, everyone has the same struggles at the beginning.
Yep,
They really do. And we all have our own individual gifts and
yep,
abilities. And some people will get over struggle A, but
yeah,
struggle with struggle B, and vice versa for other
yeah.
people. You're
And
absolutely right.
it's funny because like one of the things people always struggle with is the exposure or the marketing
Hmm.
piece, right? And one of the things I tell people when you're starting out, you probably have more time than money, right?
Yep.
Which is why you're not paying someone like us to do the marketing
Right.
because you don't have the money to do so. Well, if you have more time, then use that time to market yourself. Don't use it on creating uh, procedures and process. You don't need those yet.
Right.
Right now, you need to be out there knocking on doors, talking to everybody, going to your local chamber, creating TikTok videos. Like if you're not a local business, create TikTok videos, get on social media. You have to find a way to get people
Yeah.
to remember you, right? And it's one thing seeing you, it's another thing remembering you,
Right.
right? Like when they now need that product or that service, they have to remember who you are. That only happens through repetitive exposure, right? And same thing, thinking that putting a sign out front is going to solve
Yeah,
that.
everyone's going to
Like,
start showing up.
no, no, we just
You know what
covered
the
no,
sign's for?
nobody
The
sees.
sign's for when they're looking for you, now they know where to go. That's what the
Correct.
sign's for.
After they know who
Yeah,
you
if they know
are,
who you are.
it's just to
No
make
one
it
drives
easy.
by, let me go into that law practice today.
Right.
Just, no, it doesn't work like that.
Um, so yeah,
Maybe a bakery or something.
but
That's about it.
but I'm gonna say that 90% of the time, the people I were talking to, their issues was either the sales or the marketing,
Yeah,
right? Because I've talked to people too that were pretty good at the marketing, but they had no sales process. Once someone called, it was kind of like, oh, I'll just have a conversation with them. Well, that's not really a process,
right.
right? Like that's not step one, two, three, right? But like when someone calls us, they go, okay, so after our this initial conversations, what are the next step, right? Well, the next step is we run a full analysis on your business, your website. I come to your place. We have a conversation about what you're looking to do, what parts of your business you're looking to grow, and then we put together a plan, a
Yep.
comprehensive plan based on your budget. And they go, well, I don't know what my budget is. And I'm like, that's why we're going to
Yeah.
sit down because you're going to tell me what you want to accomplish.
Right.
I'm going to give you different aspects that you can utilize. And then we can figure out, okay, based on the budget you have, these are the things we're going to do, and these are the things we're not going to do, right? This will be phase one, phase two, phase three. Because
Yeah.
if you have, you know, $1,000 a month, it's a totally different approach than if you have 5,000 a month
Right.
or 10,000 a month, right? Even if you're a local business, it that's why the budget always matters is it changes how you strategically approach it. Doesn't change the tools we use.
Right.
It changes in what order to use those tools, right? I've said it a million times. We all have access to the same tools. right? Like you could go buy from any department or any hardware store right now all the equipment you need to become a plumber,
Right.
right?
Yep.
Does that mean you know how
How
to
to
do
do it.
plumbing?
Yeah.
No, right? So
Right.
just having the tools isn't enough. You need to have the tools and know how and in which order to use them. Because and especially like in the online digital SEO, social media advertising, all of that stuff, um, the order in which you do something matters a lot.
Oh yeah.
So I've taken on clients where they're like, oh, you know, someone there, the marketing person, really put their head down and learned some SEO stuff and did a lot of cool stuff, right? And then they come to us and we go, this is all fine and dandy,
Hmm.
but like you skipped step 1 and 2,
Right.
right? So like you're on step 3, and step 3 by itself doesn't
Right.
really do anything, right? You installed a garbage disposal, but there's nothing
There's no
connecting
water
to
coming
it, right?
into it.
Like there's no water.
Yeah.
It doesn't lead anywhere. It's
Right.
basically just spitting out, right? Like so it's interesting, that seems to be the major struggle, which I think is also the reason 80% of businesses go out of business.
Yeah.
It's they never drum up enough business to actually stay afloat,
Yeah.
right? So solve your marketing and sales problem. Friend of mine once said, um, big numbers hide a lot of problems,
They do.
right? So like if you can market and sell, you can have all kinds of operational problems, but as long as you're driving in revenue, you
Revenue
can
solves a lot of
you
problems.
can solve
Yeah.
a lot of those
Yeah.
problems, right?
So, Experience X now, thank you for this. Again, I mean, we all have our own individual issues when it
I
comes to
I got
starting out.
I got another one for you.
Yeah, sure.
And this is from someone that I bought out that's now part of my business. And she still talks about it, right? She goes, the hardest part about being a startup or starting your own business was the fact that I had no one to validate whether I was having a good or bad idea,
Okay.
right? Like,
Yeah, I
she's
get
like,
it.
I had no one that I could ask, hey, do you think this would be a good idea to use?
Right.
Because I was the only one talking to myself and I um, didn't have anybody to like tell me, hey, no,
Yeah.
this may not be as she's like, so I would go and spend a ton of time on doing something only to find out that ultimately it was a bad idea. And the first time I presented it to someone, they went, what is this? Like, why did you do this? Right?
Right.
Like, yeah, it's
But you can't always take that with at face value because I really am thinking back. It might have been the iPhone,
mm,
but it was something about there was it's a huge product back in that day. Maybe it was the iPod. I can't remember, but it was basically a bunch of people, like adults, were saying, "No, we
mm,
don't need this. You know, this thing. What do we need all this for? It does
right,
and it becomes the biggest product in the world. You know,
correct.
so you got to be careful with that
Right.
too.
Yeah, no, I get it, right? But once again, it's something you have to deal with as a startup or a founder
Yeah.
is you may not have someone to bounce an idea off of.
Oh, absolutely. I remember back in the early days of the internet, no one thought they thought it was a fad, wasn't going to last. Who
Well,
cares? Not a big deal.
the internet's never going to be big.
No, internet, no,
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 never be large.
no.
So, all right, we'll move on. For those of you watching on TikTok, again, thank you. Put your questions in the comments. We'll be happy
Hmm.
to address them. And share us on TikTok as well. We'll
Yeah.
get people to the more people that
The
watch, the
the
more questions we can get to.
the like button helps a lot too, just to get us out there.
The like button's great. So, all right, we are moving over. Let's see.
Oh, this post was deleted.
They deleted their original post. So, bye bye. All right. Oh, here you go.
Okay.
Big bold letters. Need marketing tips. Gee, Gummy, I wonder if
No,
this one's for you.
no,
All right.
this one's for you.
Oh yeah. This is from adventurous pace 9116 who
Mhm.
says, I sell stuff like digital planners, trackers, challenges, and guides. I am soon launching a digital detox planner and challenge. And personally, it's a good idea because people desperately need to reduce screen time, but I have no idea how to market it. I could go on TikTok and try to get people to pitch my idea, but I genuinely don't know how to do that. I could use any tips on marketing or even just getting better at it. I'm willing to learn. Thanks. Go.
Well, he already says it, right? He said, I could go on TikTok and try to get people
Yeah.
to pitch my idea. Yes, or even better, spend a little bit of money, find some small fitness influencers or
Yeah.
nutritional
Influencers. Yep.
influencers and pay them to pitch your idea,
Yep.
right? Like marketing sometimes costs money. That's just the reality.
Yeah.
And if you're not good at this, if you're not good at making videos and you want to do something like this, there is nothing wrong with paying. We call them micro influencers,
Yeah.
which I believe is under 5,000 followers.
Okay.
But they don't cost a lot either, right? Like for them, making some money is pretty good,
Sure.
right? And then ramp your way up from there.
Yeah.
Use things like affiliate programs, right? Affiliate programs are designed for people that are really good at marketing and sales, but don't really have a product to sell
Yeah.
or a service, right? Now I can sell someone else's product or someone else's service. It's a win-win,
Yeah.
right? Like affiliate marketing has gotten this bad rep, but like Amazon has it, right?
Right.
Like
Right.
Best Buy has it.
Oh yeah.
Like there are reputable ways to do affiliate marketing where you are actually selling something worthwhile. And I would.
Look what I'm
I know.
highlighting right here. You see this?
I see him.
You see that? Alex Hormozy?
Uh-huh.
It's your boy. He's talking about Alex a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, that's again, he has
I
really
love,
good
I
books
love
that
the
explain.
fact that just attend and steal his ideas.
Yeah.
It's not stealing his ideas.
It's not.
He gives
He's
it
giving
to
them
you.
to
Like
you.
he wrote a book about it.
Right.
Like all you have to do is read it, right?
I do like this though.
But
This
it's-
first one here says, do a 5-day digital detox challenge on TikTok where you show yourself and maybe failing to use your own planner.
Yep.
So you're showing people how it works.
Yes.
That's actually kind of a cool idea. I like that. Yeah.
There's a lot of really cool things that you can do.
Although
right?
it's kind of hard to digitally detox when you're on digital platforms, but you know.
Well,
Kind of,
right? But you can show, hey, I just jumped on here. You know, I haven't touched a device in 12 hours.
Right.
I reached for right.
I'm shaking,
right? Like I reached for my phones 30 times and
Right.
like had to physically be mindful of putting it back down. Or, you know, I pulled up my laptop 15. So tell people like what the experience is,
Yeah.
right? And it's funny because there was this whole thing that went on. There was a guy that did all kinds of digital detox tests. One of the things they found out is if you turn your phone to black and white
Mhm.
instead of color, you will use your phone less.
Is that right?
Yep.
I might do that right now.
Right? Because like you don't get as stuck on
That's
watching
true.
videos and
Yeah.
things and the appealing and the like.
Mhm.
There's a reason casinos are the way they are, right? Like the noises and the
Oh,
blinking.
yeah.
So if you turn down the volume and put your phone on black and white mode, you will use it less.
That's an interesting point. I didn't think of that. That's a good one. I can't agree with this answer here. This person
What?
says, if you can't figure out marketing, I advise you don't go into business. Not trying to be rude.
No, go figure it out.
Yeah.
Like that's the fun of being in business and being an entrepreneur is
Yeah.
having to figure stuff out.
Right.
Like when I first started in sales, right? Well, not first in sales. When I took my second sales job for the website design company,
Yep.
the phone calls my cold calls back then were, hey, have you heard of this thing called the internet? Did you know that you could set up a website, right? Well, we had to figure out how to sell people on an idea that there were a bunch of people that thought that it was just, this isn't going to last. Nobody's going to go on this thing called the internet to find anything, right? And one of the big names we got to sign up at the time was a company that makes dental instruments.
Okay.
And they're like, can we make this so like the dentists can order things? I'm like, you mean like an e-commerce site? And they're like, no, we don't want it to be e-commerce.
Okay.
We want it to be like a whole, like where they are required to log in before they can see
Okay.
any of our products, right? Because we don't
Yep.
sell to the public. Nobody needs to know how
Yeah.
much a dental drill is, right? And we're like, sure, we can do that where You can set them up with
Yeah,
the, and they were one of our very first clients that basically became one of our first e-commerce sites.
that's
And
pretty cool.
they were like, we wish we would have done this a year
Yeah.
ago, right? They were like, because the dentists don't want to see us during normal business hours. So like we've been getting orders via emails and stuff, and half the time like a serial number is wrong, or what they're asking for isn't what they meant. And the fact that they now can go on here, log on, and actually see the actual instrument,
Yeah.
they're like, this has been a lifesaver for us, right? And I'm like, we take that for granted today, right? Like
Oh
that,
yeah. Today it's
right?
just
Today is,
it's like
but back
it's everyday
then,
use.
oh, back then that was
Oh
like
sure,
revolutionary,
of
right?
course.
But if they wouldn't have figured that part out, like that was totally new to them. They
Yep.
had never done this thing. Like they'd never had to log into a website and show up at 8 o'clock in the morning and start picking orders because, people
Yeah.
had ordered overnight,
Yeah.
right? It was something they had to figure out and solve. And like, well, how quickly do we now ship the stuff out? Like
Right.
this changes our delivery routes.
Yeah.
Like, so like there was a bunch of stuff, but that's what being in business is all about is you are faced with a problem. Your job is to solve it, right?
Yeah.
Especially as the owner or high up, that is your job, is problem solving. Someone else is doing the work, you're solving all the problems.
Yep.
So if you don't solve your marketing and sales problem, you're probably not going to solve the other problems.
I agree. So go learn marketing.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah,
And you do.
and
You have to learn how to market. Look, you don't have to be great at it. You don't have to be an expert at it. You hire experts to help you along the way. But you need to
correct.
have some knowledge of it in order to get
Correct.
by.
You do the hiring someone later. In the
Yeah.
beginning, you just have to be good enough at it to get your business off the ground.
Correct. Yeah.
Right? Once it's off the ground, you hire in people to do those types of things.
Yeah. So adventurous-pace 9116. I hope that helps. Hopes it gives you a little bit of information. And good luck to you. All right. This is from M11_, who says, chauffeuring and private security services. One of my brothers have been trying to get me on board with his business for a while now, and it's starting to really pique my interest. For about 3 years, he's been driving celebrities, such as professional athletes, rappers, and even well-known jewelers. We are in the tri-state area, New York City specifically, and the city has nonstop traffic of celebrities. He has the network and connections. He's only been driving them, but his idea is to provide security also. From a partnering and investment standpoint, is this something that is viable? In my opinion, as a businessman in general, I'd say very viable, but will be expensive. What are your thoughts? I mean, yeah, absolutely. This is what Turtle did in whatchamacallit, Entourage, right? Remember Entourage, the show?
Never
Entourage?
watched it.
You ever watch Entourage?
It's on
What a
Showtime or
great
something,
show.
right?
HBO.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, what a great show.
I'm cheap when it comes to
He
that.
started a whole chauffeuring service,
Okay.
and because he had all the connections with the celebrities and stuff, he didn't provide security, but then you can make a lot of money out of that. But yeah, security is a very, very, very big deal, and it's just getting bigger because it's getting crazier out there.
And
It really is.
It's also a logical next step
Yeah.
to add to the business, right?
Yeah.
Like if you already have the connections, it's like I sell.
It's an upsell.
Correct, right? It's,
Oh yeah,
it's
you
a-
want to be taken to Madison Square Garden? Sure, no problem. And would you like an armed guard with that, sir?
correct, right? That's basically
Really?
like, here, I sell burgers. Maybe you should sell fries too.
Right.
But I sell burgers. No, but fries go really well with burgers,
Right.
right? And milkshakes do too, right? So to me, it's not just a matter of, adding the security service. I would also be looking at it and going, what else can I add?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you, I had a friend, his name was Rich. Apologize, Rich, if you're listening. I cannot remember your last name.
That's okay.
15 years ago. He worked with a lot of celebrities, including Allen Iverson and stuff like that, where he was just basically their gopher.
Yeah.
Go around, get their stuff, buy this,
Yep.
girlfriend has a birthday, he would go get the things for them, get their clothes at the dry
Yep.
cleaners and drop it off at the apartment. And that's all he did all day long. And he made a lot of money doing it too, because, they people they need assistance basically.
They need someone they can trust.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
They need someone they can trust.
And
So that could be another thing that you do with this as well. Not just drive them around, not just provide security, but no personal errands that they need handled.
And And with stuff like this, there's all these other things that people tend to forget about, right? Like partnerships you can develop. Hey, I need to go shopping. I have just the store for
Yeah,
you.
right, right.
Right? And
Exactly.
that's how you build relationships. There's so many things you can do with this.
Yeah.
Like he's done the hard part.
The
He's
hard part is the connections.
the
Yeah.
yes, the network and the connections
That's
is
the
the hard
hardest
part.
part.
Selling them something on top
Yeah.
of it, that's the easy
Once you
part.
provide, and this is actually true for almost any business.
Mhm.
Once you provide your customers with a good product or service,
Yes.
they are very easily sold on
Yes.
other products or services that you provide because they're expecting it to be
Yeah.
good as well.
It's one of those there's a guy on TikTok is
Just one?
no, a specific one. Amalfi Jets.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, right.
Yep, yep,
Like
yep.
I love watching his stuff where he's taking these calls and all that stuff. Um, but the one thing that I noticed during some calls, he asks, "Do you need someone to drive you from the airport to,"
Yeah.
right? And I'll guarantee you he does not have a chauffeuring service, right? So
Right.
he subs that out
Oh yeah.
or gets paid a commission from this is the same thing, right? Like you could partner with private jet companies. You could like as a business person, if you don't understand that he's done the hard part, like like he did the hard part.
Yeah.
He honestly did. He
Well, no,
built
he says it's a viable, but it will be expensive.
correct.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it'll
But
also be costly for the
correct.
for the customers
It's
too.
expensive, right? It's expensive to make a genuine leather bag
Right,
that is all made from. It
right.
costs more to make it, but it's also worth more
Yeah, because
than
you're
the
going to sell it
synthetic
for a
leather.
lot more as well.
Correct,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, it makes sense. Like yeah, this is
I agree with you. I think that chauffeuring and private security is just the tip of the iceberg. I
oh
think
yeah,
there's a lot of different things you can do with
oh yeah,
this. A
and
lot of
because then
things.
there's security levels.
Yeah.
There's so many different things. Once you have the relationships,
Yeah,
it's a
exactly.
matter of how do I make more from those relationships?
Exactly. Yeah. So no, this is a good one. M11. I would 100% get involved in this if I were
Mhm.
you. Because again, like Gummy said, the hard part's done. You have the connections.
Hell,
That's the hard thing to get.
if he doesn't, I might reach out.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Let us know. Drop
This
us a
this
line on
used to be
TikTok.
right up my alley.
Yeah. Right.
You
No.
know,
Very cool.
I
Very cool.
used to chauffeur around.
I don't even guess anymore. I just assume you did it at one point because every time we talk, it's like,
So
oh yeah, I did that for a little while. It's like you
so
must be 150 years
so
old.
back when I was back in my bouncer days,
Yeah, I
right?
remember that.
Um, we had a guy that was a former Force Recon Marine. It was a friend of mine.
Okay.
And he got hired by the US government to drive around US government officials.
Okay.
So he needed guys to do it. And he's like, I prefer guys that can hold their own,
Yep.
right? Like that look the part. So yeah, I've driven around back then, like high value
Heads of
US
state. Yeah.
we didn't do heads of state because they
Okay.
normally come with their own entourage.
Yep.
But like people that don't travel with bodyguards but
Right.
still travel,
Yep.
those are the ones that we used to drive around.
Well,
I
very
only
cool.
ever had one that actually brought a bodyguard with them.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. But I mean, we were a safe country. It's not like there was a high risk, so you generally only needed just someone to drive you around.
Right.
But it was very interesting and it paid really well, right? Like it was worth me taking days off from my regular job at the time to do these gigs for a day or two.
Very cool. I like it. All right. Let's see what else is going on in the world today. What? Oh, I have to read this. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
This is from Corey Chung, who says a business where I ruin other people's business reputations. What? Okay, hold on. I'm just going to read it. What if I start a business where clients can use my services to hire my workers to potentially ruin a business's reputation by holding up signs / megaphones to convey a negative message in front of their place on public property? Oof. I'm not even going to go any further with that. Yeah, no. I mean, sure, I guess you technically could do that, but I absolutely wouldn't do that. If you get caught, and it's just a legal side of things.
Mm-hmm.
If you get caught where you're purposely ruining a business's reputation
Mm-hmm.
for pay, that is intentional interference with business relations, and that's a tort. It's a civil action. Depending on the business and how much they lose, you could be facing a huge lawsuit for something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And number one, the morality of it's just I don't like that at all. You're who's going to hire you? The competitor's going to hire you.
Correct.
So the competitor's going to hire you to put them out of business so that they can make more money. That's just a moral deficiency. No, I don't like that at all. I'm sorry, I can't approve.
So
Not approved.
there's a comment on TikTok that says, "Oh, that it's Yelp."
It's Yelp.
And you know what I think about Yelp?
Oh, I know.
Which is why I
it's
had
the
to
same thing I think about it. I know.
I do not like.
Oh,
it.
wait. I have to keep reading.
I'm
Sorry.
not a fan. Yeah.
He says, FYI, I'm not doing this. It's obviously unethical, but I'm just wondering if this is even possible and the legality around it. I live in the U.S., by the way. All right. Again, we'll stop there. So I've already explained the legalities of it.
Unless you are doing it for political purposes. No, I'm not going to go
Even
there.
for political purposes, I don't think you
I
can
know.
do it. No, the legality is you can be faced with defamation lawsuits, intentional interference lawsuits. I don't believe there would be anything criminal unless you were trespassing, meaning that, and just so people who don't understand trespass, the way it works is you have to be on private land and they have to give you a warning that you are being trespassed from the land, meaning that just being on the land the first time is not the criminal action. The criminal action is you go on the land, you are told you are not allowed to be here, you're being trespassed from the land, and then you come back. That's when the criminal action occurs. So so a lot of this there's a lot of civil penalties or a lot of civil issues with something like this.
Yeah.
And again, I'm glad he pointed out that it's unethical. It's entirely unethical.
Even though, like, I get it if you had a bad experience. With
if you did, yeah,
right?
sure.
Like, I get it, but yeah, this is just
doing it for money. I mean, that's just.
I hate to say this, but there are services.
You can 100%.
You can purchase like. There was a company that I found the one time because we were looking for someone to manage reviews, right? Because there are so many places where reviews of a business can be pushed.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in the blue collar world,
right?
Because then you have like House, Angie's List, the obvious ones, Yelp, Google. Like people don't realize how many places someone can leave a review about your business on, right? So we were looking for someone that would monitor all of this at the time.
Yeah, sure.
And we found this company that specializes in giving 1-star reviews to competitors. That's the service they sold. So I found this weird company, and that's what they did is I could buy their services to leave 10, 15, or 20 negative reviews on any business that I wanted. And I'm like, if you're a ticked off consumer, like, and you're willing to spend $50 for this, that could totally destroy a business.
It could destroy a business, absolutely. And again, if you can prove as the business owner that those reviews are false, you have a pretty decent defamation claim.
The problem is when you're dealing with a company overseas that does this, it's not easy.
It's not easy.
Correct. Because now you got to get a hold of them.
Yeah.
Right. And if they're in like Vietnam or
Kazakhstan, it's not happening.
or
not happening.
Then it doesn't matter because even if you get a hold of them, now you have to find out who hired them.
And this goes back to my argument about reviews with you from several episodes ago. This is why I don't like. It's another reason I don't like reviews. I don't like them. I don't think they work. I think they were a good idea. They worked at one point, but now they don't work anymore because you can't trust both the positive and the negative. Correct. You can't trust.
I mean, how they structured it from day one has always been the problem.
Yeah.
Right. Like the norm, if you have a 5-star scale, if this cup holds my fluid, it's a 3-star cup.
Right. Because it did what it's supposed to do.
Correct. Right. If this cup, which happens to be from one of my favorite brands, holds stuff colder for longer
period
than
of time
the average cup,
then it's a 4-star. Right.
If I am amazed at how long it keeps something hot and
Right.
cold,
A
and I
month
have
later, it's still
and
ice is
right,
still in there.
like I kid you not, like with a different lid on this cup,
Yeah.
it was like 12 degrees outside, and I forgot my coffee cup in the car all day. I pull up to my office at like 10 o'clock.
Hmm.
I leave by 5:30 that night, and my coffee was still warm enough to
Wow.
drink. That is a 5-star cup,
That's a 5-star, right?
right?
But no, everybody gives everything a 5-star
Because
just
that's
because
the
they got it.
expectation.
Or they my and one of my favorites is when they give it a 1-star because it was delivered late. What does that
Oh,
have to
yeah.
do with the
Oh,
product?
or the restaurant that the food was good, but the driver from a
Yeah,
third
right,
party,
right.
by the way, was rude.
Yeah,
Well, that had nothing to do with the.
I
They
know.
had no control over who the driver
And then
was,
people,
right?
oh,
Like,
I'll get them 1-star. You know, it's like,
uh-huh.
come on, man. It's too. You've given people too much power, I think, because it really can shut a business down.
Yes.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just don't like it. Anyway, Corey Chung, don't do this.
No.
Don't even think about doing this. You are setting yourself up for major life, especially if you live in the U.S. You're setting yourself up for major
This is
liability for something
definitely
like
a
this.
scrap it one.
This is a scrap it. Although I do appreciate that he's saying he's not doing it. He
Hmm.
knows it's unethical. He's just curious.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm all about it because it could lead to a legitimate ethical idea down the line.
Hmm.
Something. How about saving people's reputations instead of destroying them?
Yeah.
Maybe
There,
might be.
I think there is a business now in reputation rescue.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be an
It's
industry.
going to have to be if they keep allowing reviews the way they do them.
So that already exists on the personal side.
Yeah, sure.
Because we had a CEO once reach out to us and go, hey, when people Google my name, there's a bunch of lawsuits that show up that I'd rather, you know, I was just named on there because I was the CEO.
Yeah,
It had nothing to do with me.
right.
It's just I was named on those suits. He's like, can you guys make those go away? And I'm like, I can't make them go away, but I could probably push them to page 2 of Google,
Mhm.
which comes right after it. So you have page 1, and then you have the dark web, and then you have the deep web, and then you
Yep.
have page 2 of Google.
I
So
I, I know.
I know
I get the joke.
I'm explaining it to other people, which is essentially what a lot of these reputation management companies do, right? Is they just push
Yeah.
whatever results are visible to page 2 or 3 of search engines so
Yeah.
that it's not easily found. Like you could still find it,
I
but
had about 3 years ago. I had a client, really a father, contact me. His son was. I'm not going to go into too many details. I don't want his information to be released, but his son was an athlete,
Mhm.
and he was, an A student. Was being recruited by a major company for coming out of college, and one of his, let's just say, no longer friends
Right.
posted something on a message board that was incredibly derogatory, like
Mhm.
criminal type
Right.
derogatory. And that is all that showed up when you searched his name on
Yep.
Google.
Yep.
The first 3 posts were
Were
about
that.
that posting,
Yes.
and the posting had been removed because they knew
Correct.
they knew it was
But you can
false.
still
But you
see.
could still see it
Yes.
on there, and it
Oh yeah.
took me about 2 weeks to get that
Oh
removed.
yeah.
I had to
If you
contact
can.
Google's legal team because
Right.
this was affecting his recruitment ability
Yep.
to actually
If
get
you
recruited.
if you post something like this about someone on platforms like Reddit and the
Yeah.
other stuff, Google picks those up really quick
Oh
and they
yeah.
rank very highly.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
We got a question
we got a
from TikTok.
question.
Yes.
All right.
Do you guys think AI will continue to influence new job opportunities?
How much time do we have left? We got about 20 minutes
we
left.
got
Yeah,
okay.
sure. Ready? Go. Yes.
Absolutely.
Without question.
The only question is what industries isn't it going to affect?
Okay. 2 months ago,
It's
I think I could have come up with a list of industries it wouldn't affect. Not anymore.
I don't think I can
I don't
either.
think I can
Yeah.
anymore. After seeing some of these robotics that are coming
Yes.
out, and there is a machine now that will go through orchards and pick apples.
Yes.
I couldn't believe it. I was looking. I'm like, and it has AI built into it to
Yeah.
detect if the apple is too
So-
small, if it's bad, etc.
So there was a saying when AI first came out is that, You're not going to lose your job to AI. You're going to lose your job to someone that knows how to use AI.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't think it's about losing jobs. It is, there are just jobs that will not be created.
Right.
They will cease to exist because you now have 3 people doing the same work that 7 people used to.
Right. Correct.
Right. So I think the affecting new opportunities is going to be far worse than anybody losing their job because of it.
Yeah, and so you bring up an excellent point, and we've talked about this before as well. So let's reiterate here.
Mm-hmm.
AI is it's here, it's coming, it's going to get better and better. It's absolutely going to affect the marketplace. So be prepared.
Yes.
Do something about that now. Learn it.
Yes.
Okay. It was the same thing. Remember how 5 years ago it was learn to code? Well, now it's learn how to use AI.
Correct.
And guess what? You don't have 5 years. You need to do it now.
Yes.
You need to start understanding what it is, how it works, and how you can use it to your advantage.
My wife is in finance. And took me 7 months to get her to start using AI.
Yeah.
She is now the person they call, and she works for a Fortune 500 company.
Yeah.
Her department is now the one that calls her and goes, "Hey, can you help other people use this? Because like you're being far more productive than they are."
Yeah.
Right. And it all comes down to with a little pushing and shoving, she finally, but she was taking her MBA at the time.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And I told her, like, start using AI to work with your college stuff, right? Like, learn how to use it in that environment, because a lot of the stuff you're doing is what AI is brilliant at,
Right.
right? Take that PDF document that you just came and asked me, "Hey, I'm not sure I understand this assignment." Drop that into something like ChatGPT or Gemini and ask it to explain it to you like you're 5,
Right.
right? So that's how she got started with it, is summarizing and research, because they would get a research assignment and I'm like, go use Gemini, go
Yep.
use one of them and have it do a lot of the research for you, and then utilize that to finalize your project. And we probably cut down the time when she finally embraced using some of this technology. Her time spent on homework probably dropped by 30 to
Yeah.
40%, right?
Yeah.
Because she would still write out her answers and write the essays and all that stuff. But the research time and the understanding projects and getting information took a fraction of the time.
You know, it's I see the correlation between the early days of the internet
Mm-hmm.
and now here the early days of AI. And
Yeah.
in the early days of the internet, it was there were three schools of thought. It's going to take over everything.
Yep.
It's not going to do anything.
Yep.
Or it's, hey, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Right. And most people right now with AI is, oh, this is cool. It's entertaining. It's fun.
Yes.
But even with the internet, people don't use it to their
No.
what it can be used for, like the biggest advantage. And it's the same thing with AI.
Correct.
People aren't right now, and probably in the future too, aren't going to know how to use it to its full potential.
Yeah. Right now, when I'm making a comparison, I always use Microsoft Excel.
Yeah.
Right? Do most of us know what Microsoft Excel is? Yes.
Know what it is, how to use it, however.
Can you go in and do your monthly budget on it pretty easily?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Right? Have you ever seen an Excel power user?
I am one.
Well,
I use it quite often.
Yeah.
I use some serious advanced stuff in Excel on a regular
right?
basis.
Like, those are going to be the people that are going to get sought after.
Yeah.
The power users for
AI. Yeah.
And it's going to be an AI that is in their field,
Yes.
right? Like this whole music thing with AI, right? They've already been using some of it in like music production studios and stuff like that.
Oh, sure.
They just took it and made it available to the public.
Yeah.
Right? Like in 20 years, I wouldn't be surprised if at least half the music coming out has some kind of AI.
20 years. In 20 years, it's all going to be AI.
I don't think it's ever all going to be.
Oh, I do. I absolutely
I don't think there's
do.
enough money in it to be more than that, because you have to remember the music industry, for example, a lot of the money is in the tours and the shows and the.
Now It wasn't like that 20, 30 years ago.
Well,
The money was in it was in the sale of the music.
correct, but
Well, now that you can't really sell music anymore because of
mhm,
streaming and the margins are like
yeah,
that, right? Now it's about the tours. That's why the tours have gotten
correct.
so big and stuff like that. But guess what?
They got to
People are
justify
just
the
getting
150.
tired of paying $400 for a
Mm-hmm,
ticket. Paul McCartney
yeah.
is touring in the US next year, right? They just announced this. Do you know it's $1,600 for some tickets?
What to
And
see
that's not
who?
even up front. Yeah, right.
Did you say
Paul
Paul McCartney?
Paul McCartney.
$1,600
Yes.
to see Paul McCartney.
Yes. And that's not even for front row tickets. That's just like for some floor seats. It's crazy how expensive these,
Yeah,
and that's why I really do think it's just okay. The concert is independent from the music. When I
right.
want to just stream and listen to music, that's going to be all AI generated.
Mm.
It is, and it's going to be generated based off of my tastes. Oh my God, you know what it's going to be? It's going to be a bubble. No, it is.
It,
It's going to be a music bubble, just like we have an information
we're
bubble.
we're gonna go
AI is going to learn my taste, what I like,
what
what I
they.
don't like, and it's going to make the music that I want to hear based on but I'm not going to
Mhm.
experience new music.
Eh,
That's what's going to happen.
or it's all gonna be new music,
Um,
just same
so,
genre.
so for example, what was the name of the Mongolian,
The Who?
EDM guy? No, the EDM guy.
Oh,
With the
Oskan.
Ozgun,
Yeah,
right? Yeah. I would never have listened to that if you hadn't introduced it to me,
right.
right? Wow, what cool music,
It
right?
is
He's
cool
doing the
music.
Mongolian throat
Mm-hmm.
with the EDM mixed
EDM.
together.
Yep.
But if I had read that that's what it was, maybe I would have listened to it, maybe.
Right.
But you introduced it to me, right?
And it's all well,
AI probably wouldn't know to show that to me.
probably not. I mean, I discovered it through like suggested music
Right?
on YouTube,
Yeah.
right? It because like I will randomly find some artist on TikTok or
Right.
wherever, and I'll go listen to it. And what's funny is you now get to see because I'm so eclectic with like I'll listen to anything.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I'll go from Dimash Kudaibergen to I don't know Slayer, right?
Slayer. Winger.
Right. But like so like sometimes I feel like I'm confusing the suggestive algorithms,
Yeah.
but I get a lot of suggested stuff, right? And now that I'm publishing music,
Right.
right, through the Gummy Golf Music thing, so I go on YouTube and I look at okay, where because most of the stuff that like most of the views that you're getting
Yeah.
is from YouTube suggesting it to
Yeah.
people. What's fascinating to me is I can go in and see what they were listening to that made YouTube suggest one of my songs
Yeah.
afterward.
Has
And
YouTube ever suggested a polka to you?
they so
Probably not.
no so
Well, for you, maybe.
well,
For the
not
rest of
correct
civilization
and
who are
not
normal, no, probably
not
not.
necessarily polka, but they did suggest a polka metal band to me once.
Okay, but you see where I'm going with this, right?
Correct. But yeah,
It could
unless
become a bubble.
unless I introduce new music to it
Right.
occasionally
Yes.
that I discover elsewhere. Like
Yes.
it's the thing that I found out is most new artists are discovered on TikTok. Right.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Speaking of TikTok, if you're
Mhm.
out there, send us your questions. We'd love to
Yeah.
answer them.
But let's get back to the AI.
Yeah, sure.
Right. So that was a side quest on music.
No,
But I
AI.
think like originally who we thought AI was coming for, like nobody thought AI would come for creatives first,
Right.
right? We all thought it was coming after finance
Right.
and lawyers
Yeah.
and first, right? No, no, no. It's come after the creatives
Creatives.
head on first, right? I think it's also oh yeah, you did inspire a good topic. We talk about this frequently. Sorry, she was commenting on TikTok.
Who's that?
Uh, Mr. C, the college counselor.
Yeah. What did he say?
He said, "I'm glad I could inspire a good topic."
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mr. C. We love you.
but yeah, we do talk about AI quite frequently because it's so
Oh,
front
it's here
forward
it
right now.
is.
Yes.
All right.
I think the next one it's going to come after are people that have had to memorize or be able to skim through a large knowledge base,
Yeah.
right? Like attorneys, doctors. A lot of that is you need to do the diagnosis,
Hmm.
but now AI is going to be the one that helps you come up with a solution. right? Like, and I think we're going to see this pretty much any of the major
I agree.
college. That's what it's coming after. Once it's done, with the creatives, that's going to be the next one.
Yeah.
Then I think it's going to go after finance. I was already having a conversation with someone. They're working on developing an AI that understands how to do bookkeeping, right? So like it actually reads the
Yep.
receipt and understands the difference of whether this goes into the networking
Yep.
expense or if it goes into meals and entertainment, or because that is a big problem with bookkeeping, is knowing where to put what, right?
Yeah.
So they're working on an AI that will work with any of the major platforms, QuickBooks, Xero, any of them, because it's just doing the things. But the fact that it would understand where it's supposed to go is the amazing thing,
Yeah.
right? Because we've always needed humans. There are basic rules you can set up in QuickBooks now. Um, don't think our jobs are in jeopardy. We have to adapt. Yes. Current jobs are not in jeopardy. Future jobs are in
Future
jeopardy.
jobs are in
Yes.
jeopardy. Yeah. Well, what's in jeopardy is what you said
And
earlier. 7 people. Now you only need 3 to do it.
correct. Right.
That's
And
what's in jeopardy.
and what's scary is I remember I was brought in to do a lot of these for my chamber, right?
Hmm.
When it was first coming out, because they very quickly found out that I was all into this. Like I was all in. I was an early subscriber to ChatGPT. Like I was a
Oh
user
yeah.
within 3 days of it launching,
Yeah.
right? Um, but when I used to have these conversations with people, I would show them, it was Sora, I think at the time,
Hmm.
which is an image generator. And I would show them version 3, 4, and 5, right? Where version 3 looked like a cartoon, version 4, like someone mangled two photographs together, to version 6,
Hmm.
where you could no longer tell that it wasn't a real photo. And
Yep.
I asked people, how long do you think it was between version 3 and version 6? And they would go, oh, that's got to be like a couple of years. And I'm like, no, that was like 7 months,
Yeah.
right? Like I forget exactly how, but it was such a short amount of time, right? I'm,
You're going to start seeing it more and more in the entertainment industry as well. We talked about music, but
mhm.
also movies,
Oh, yeah.
right? You're going to see where, and this is actually a legal discussion that's going on right now. They're trying to figure out what happens when Tom Cruise
Yeah.
isn't physically in the movie, but they're using Tom Cruise and
And
putting him in a
yeah.
movie,
Isn't
right?
that how they had to finish Batman with Heath Ledger? Or
Uh,
was it Fast and Furious?
no, Fast and Furious, they used his brother. They used Paul Walker's brother.
Yeah, but then they,
Yeah, they did CGI over,
okay.
but there's a difference between
Yeah, yeah.
CGI and AI, right?
Okay.
CGI requires hundreds of man hours
Right.
for just a few frames, whereas AI is go.
Yes.
It makes it for you, right?
Yeah. I was listening to, they were doing, because I listened to the Wall Street Journal tech news
Yeah.
briefing, which is, if you don't listen to it, everybody should. They were having conversations with an AI company that specializes in making backgrounds for movies,
Okay.
right? So, like, if you're filming a scene, you could
Yeah.
just do it in front of a green screen, and the AI will create the erupting volcano
Right.
behind them, right? Like, has to no longer CGI, it's AI, right? So they're specializing in making those.
God, could you imagine Lord of the Rings made with AI?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
dude.
that'd be so cool. Peter Jackson, get on it.
But yeah, it's just a matter of what other industries are they coming for?
Yeah.
And with the robotics, with the AI now, I don't think there's a job that's safe, that will
Right.
not in
Well,
some way be affected by.
podcasting, right? Joe
Mhm.
Rogan, biggest name in the industry,
Yep.
right? How long is it going to be before just an AI starts doing a podcast and no one knows or frankly cares the difference?
Yeah.
It's entertaining. They enjoy it. They
Well,
listen to it every day.
right now there is a whole stigma with, oh, this is AI generated,
Right
right?
now.
Correct.
But
There.
as it becomes more and more mainstream, I'll give you an example,
Mhm.
right? 30 years ago, what was the stigma? Or 20 years ago, what was the stigma? Oh, online dating. What a horrible thing. I'm not going to meet someone online. That's a nerd thing, right?
Yes.
What happens now? It's the only way people meet each other.
Correct. Right. Things have
It's just a
changed.
matter
Yeah.
of time.
AI is going to become more accepted, more widely used. It's not taking your job, it's taking your kid's job,
Yeah.
right? Like
Right.
that's what it's doing. It's going to take your grandkids'
Yeah.
jobs. And I think we're going to see a shift where people start valuing, this is going to sound horrible. I think we might get to a point where someone that watches your child, because you will need a physical, or you want a physical human being to do
Yeah.
that, is going to be worth more than your doctor, because your
Yeah.
doctor is going to be a
A
screen
screen.
somewhere with an AI that's diagnosing you,
Yep.
and it's going to be computing power. It's not going to be a human being
There
anymore.
are definitely certain things that at least for the next 20, 30 years are going to be, you have to have a human being in that role.
Mm-hmm. Or you would want to,
Or you would want
right?
to.
Like I
Right.
would want a human being to watch my child,
Right. Right.
right? I
And
I
not giving that up to somebody
I
else. To
might have
something else.
a robot backup,
Right.
but I am not giving that up. I want them to be able to.
What was the maid in the Jetsons? Rosie?
Yeah,
Right.
I think it was. Yeah, right.
Something like
So
that.
I think AI is also going to lead to a huge shift in the type of jobs we value, for human beings,
Yeah.
and what we are willing to pay for those jobs.
I agree. All right, Mr. C, thank you. Very, very intriguing
Mhm.
question because yeah, it's front and center in the world right now. And
People have no idea.
no, they have no clue
I
what's
just
coming.
talked.
No idea what's coming.
I just talked to my brother-in-law, and he works for a specialized company where he is the expert on a single cancer drug. So he fields every single question coming in from
Hmm.
doctors, right? They went to an AI training, because they are now being forced to learn how to use it, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't a year ago that I was showing him, like, what are some of the questions you get about your drug? And he asked me the questions, and I literally had ChatGPT feeding him the answers. And he goes, well, there's a little more to it because not everything we do is published, right? I'm like, okay, well, then
Right.
I can't access that. I'm like, but this is what you're going to be doing. And he was like, oh, that's years away. During the last training he went to, 10 months after
That's
telling
it.
me that,
10 months. Yeah.
he is now, that's exactly what he's
Yeah.
doing. AI is now backing him up with his answers.
It's crazy. It really is. All right, let's move on to one more. We got time
One
for one
more?
more today.
Okay.
Yeah. This is from superb underscore DJ underscore 0908, who says, what is the best business to start as a teenager? I like this. I'm
Mhm.
curious about how people get to start their business at a very young age. I want to start a business too, but don't know I can get started. If any ideas come to mind, they feel impossible to achieve. And after finding two or three hurdles, okay, I quit. But I'm serious about business. But at this starting point, it's too much. There's too much confusion that leads to procrastination. Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
big one. And I don't find any motivation in it. What do I do? All right. There's first off, as a teenager, you can do literally anything.
Mhm.
There's no business you can't do. It doesn't make a difference what it
No.
is, because
That
you have all the time and
what
energy in the world to do whatever you want.
what you should focus on learning when you are doing your first business as a teenager is customer
Customer
service and
service.
how to deal with people,
Yep.
right? Like if you can
Hands
learn that
down.
skill set, you can move on to pretty much any business that you want,
Yeah.
because that is the hurdle for almost everybody.
Yep.
I always like something that is blue collar, um, driveway cleaning,
Yeah.
lawn mowing, concierge service, dog walking, something that has minimal liability,
Yep.
and you are in control of whatever's being done,
Yep.
right? Um, Depending on what your skill set is, house cleaning, any type of service business where you are doing something for someone that they would rather pay you to do than do themselves.
Yeah. And let me tell you this. If your first thought is, "Oh, that's beneath me," you're done. Get out.
Yep.
You're already not going to be a business owner. Just leave. Seriously,
Yeah.
you can't have the mentality. Oh no, this is beneath me. I can't do this.
Dude,
Then forget it.
My cleaning lady was out for 3 weeks with an illness.
Yeah.
Who do you think cleaned the office?
Right. Oh, I do. I did it all.
I was it as good as she does it?
No.
No.
Of
Was
course
it
not.
good enough that
Yeah,
our office didn't look
yeah,
embarrassing?
of course. Yeah, I'll take the trash out.
Mhm.
I'll do whatever I have to do for my business to make sure my business survives. And if
Yeah.
that means if I have to clean the ducts I'll clean the ducts, the
Correct.
ductwork if I have to do
I'd
it.
rather have someone else do
Yeah,
it, but
if
if
I
there's
have
no
to
one
wire
else,
something, I know a lot about wiring electricity. If
mhm,
I have to wire something,
yeah,
I will go and do that
oh yeah,
because the electrician can't be here for 3 days. It's got to work. We
uh,
got to get this back up and
correct.
running.
Yes,
I'll do it. I
yes.
don't care. That's
I,
what it takes to get my business going. There's no beneath me.
no,
Um,
if you ever have that mindset as a business owner,
yeah,
you're going to be in trouble.
you're gonna be in big trouble.
Yeah.
All right, so teenagers. I mean, we talk a lot about that. We talk about a lot landscaping, this, that, or the other, right? Let's talk about so yes, absolutely, lots of blue collar, lots of manual labor jobs that you can do. There's also a lot of digital things, plenty of digital things out there. Again, we talked about influencers, but they're so far and few between the success stories with the influencers. I'd be real careful with that. But at the same time, whatever it is you want to do, well, I'm not suggesting you become an influencer. Absolutely build your personal brand at the same time, right? Build up people like whatever. Let's just say we want to do landscaping.
Mhm.
Build up your brand in your local area as the guy to go to for landscaping. And it might take you a few years, but build up that brand.
Yeah.
That personal brand will follow you forever if you do
Yes.
it the right way.
And if you then decide to do something else,
Yes,
you already have a network where you can
exactly.
go talk to someone.
Exactly. And quite frankly, let's actually that's a good point. The networking side of things, right?
Well, the
What
relationship side of things.
well, that's what
Yeah.
I mean. The relationships. So before you even worry about doing a business,
Yeah.
go build relationships with people.
Yeah.
Go see what other
Well,
people are doing.
you can do both at the
Yeah,
same
no,
time,
you
right?
absolutely can.
It's the guy that he's a local here. He started a landscaping business as his first business.
Yeah. The Scott.
Huh?
Is that we're talking about Scott?
No.
Oh, okay.
Different guy. But he started a lawn care business and got a ton of business and learned the marketing and the sales and the customer service.
Yeah.
Then he found out that pest control was far more profitable.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And he literally converted the vast majority of his customers from lawn care customers to pest control customers, and then subbed out all the lawn care or referred
Yeah.
them to another person,
Yeah, I
right?
can see that.
So he handed off a bunch of lawn care clients to other landscapers that now in turn are sending him pest control business.
Yeah.
So he went from a low margin product to a high margin product, utilizing the relationships he had already built, right?
Yeah.
Like brilliant.
Totally. I could totally see that happening. So, and again, while you're doing that, go build relationships, honestly, because that's the thing that's going to take you through your years. That's something I wish I would have known as a teenager, is to build those business relationships, because man, they will take you so far in life.
Yes.
If there were people that I knew 30 years ago when I was a teenager, right,
It's not about making the money, it's about building.
right,
It's about learning the skill set and
yeah,
building the relationships,
yeah,
right? Like you can go
building trust, and
correct.
yeah,
But so like the difference between a paper delivery job, which was a thing back
yeah,
when we were young,
oh yeah,
right? And going out and mowing someone's lawn, is that with the lawn mowing, you are building a relationship with the homeowner.
right.
When you are a paper delivery guy,
They never see you.
no, you're just a random
Except
person.
for time of collection. Remember that? You have to go with
Yes.
your collection book and say, hey, you owe
So
$4.50 for last week.
we didn't have to do that, fortunately, where I was.
Oh,
But
okay.
yes.
We
Um,
did. We had to
but
go collect.
yeah.
That was always fun. And I'll tell you something, I learned very early on, because I was,
Yeah.
probably 10, 11 years old. I was
Yep.
delivering papers very early on, that people don't always pay their bills.
Oh no.
No matter how
Nope.
small the bill is. And what do you do in that case, right?
Yeah.
Do you keep delivering the papers? Do you accept their excuses? But if it's your business,
Mhm.
that's money now that you're out. What do you do
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah. Once again, I think the best thing to start is something where you learn all the skill sets.
Yep. So,
But
all right,
yeah.
superb DJ, good job. Best of luck to you. Although if you're a DJ, right, I was a DJ as a teenager. I made a
Correct.
lot of money as a DJ when I was
Yeah.
younger. Keep going with that business. That's a great business to be in.
Yeah.
That'll always be fun.
Once again, it's a service business.
It's service-based business, of course.
Correct.
So, all right, I think we're good for today.
I think so too.
You think so? I think
so.
we're good. People on TikTok, thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Don't forget to submit your questions. We'll be great to get to them next time. Those of you on Reddit, hope we gave you some great advice. And yeah, so we're here usually Usually, not always, especially in the summer with
What,
Gummy and his tennis elbow, but usually on Wednesdays,
around
11,
noonish?
noon, something like
Yeah.
that, right?
Let's
And
call it noonish.
noonish. we're noonish.
Sometimes we're 11:30. Sometimes we're 12:30.
Sometimes we're 12:30.
Depends
Sometimes we're Thursday. You know, so,
well, that's if Wednesdays are impossible.
right,
Yes.
exactly. So, but we'll be back next week, and hope to talk to you guys then. So, Gummy,
See ya.
all right, buddy, take care.